Hey, good morning, everybody. What's going on? Had a slight freeze there for a second. I got worried. Wow, you know. So listen, here's my big story, which was at the end of a column on the front page of CNN today. Like a minor little blip. I guess they don't want too many people to really realize this. But you all know, if you probably all heard it, you know, someplace along the line, that this musician Bad Bunny, who I've never heard a song of, and I don't really know what kind of music he does, except that my wife hates it, so it must be pretty bad. He's Puerto Rican. I think that's the reason. She hates Puerto Ricans, and I don't know why. Maybe she gets stepped on by one sometimes. I don't know. But anyhow, he's going to do the halftime show at the Super Bowl and says he's going to do it all in Spanish. Well, it was just announced today that ICE agents are being sent to the Super Bowl to patrol the Super Bowl. Now, you got 70,000 semi-sober people, and depending how the game goes, depends on their disposition, and a bunch of masked guys with guns. What could possibly go wrong with that? Huh? Does anybody know what possibly could go wrong with that? Well, and usually Trump attends the Super Bowl, but I doubt if he'll do it this year. With that, they'll let him do it this year, but you never know. He wants to see violence because he wants to be able to declare martial law so that he can cancel the 2026 elections, because as it stands now, he can't cancel them without martial law. He can't really, he can affect them. He can, make you sign papers, but have, ICE agents at the voting polls and everything else. So, But I can't see Trump showing up if there's ICE agents patrolling the stands. I mean, that's just asking for trouble there. You got idiots that don't know nothing about sports, or maybe know a lot about sports but don't know anything about crowd control at a sporting event. That's a whole different situation, folks. Has to be done quickly, almost instantly. You have to be able to, and if possible, you see it before it happens. You have to be extremely observant in that situation. I'm really not sure that these clowns can do that. So, that could be a spectacular fail for Donald Trump and his little ICE army. But it will be interesting to watch it, I think it'll probably drive up viewership, if not attendance. And then last night, I wasn't awake for this, so don't look at me funny. I read about it this morning. Taylor Swift released her 12th album. It's only 43 minutes long, but they say she might drop a second album, like she did on the Eras tour. I don't know what her plans are about touring or anything else. I don't think she's been at a Chiefs game recently, because they haven't shown her. Unless they've been threatened. If they show her, they'll lose their license. You know how Trump gets when people that he doesn't like, start showing up places he'd rather be. But I don't know what is going to happen there with that. But Taylor's going to be there. I don't know whether they said she's doing the halftime show. She was supposed to be doing the halftime show. Now they got Bad Bunny. We'll see what happens there. Everybody says it boosts their career. Excuse me, I'm sorry. For about a year it does, and then they just fade away because it's no big deal anymore. In Manchester, England, there was an attack on a synagogue, which I didn't even know there was a large Jewish population there. I know there was a large Muslim population in England. I didn't know there was a large Jewish population as well. And that seems to be, a bunch of people who were seriously injured and killed and whatnot. And there's still, it's difficult to find information about that. on a short notice because there's a time differential, so I don't know when the stories were printed and everything. But it says supposedly this happened yesterday or the day before. Surprises me, when you have something like that happen in a country that's not known for things like that. It's kind of I don't know what you call it. They're known for protests, but they're not known for violence like that, but that's, I don't even know how it happened. Maybe I should check that out. Hold on a second. We'll do this real fast. There we go. Ding, 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 ding. All right, deadly attack on the holiest day. It was, oh God, I don't, what's that, Yom Kippur. I forget all the different holidays out there. I don't pay attention to anything except Christmas. Only because I like the music. Yeah, police car. I'm trying to read exactly what he did. So hold on a second while I skim this article real fast. Good thing I'm a speed reader. But I still don't know what's going on yet. The Jewish people weren't allowed to use their phones because of the holy day. Man, you gotta make exceptions. You know what? And if your God can't make exceptions, then screw him. That's another reason why I don't like religion. Certain rules are just pure bullshit, especially if you're Orthodox. Which means you believe everything unquestionably. All right, doesn't tell you. It's not telling me how it happened. Go back to the beginning of the article. Doesn't say anything. Doesn't tell you what exactly the attack was. So I'm assuming what usually happens in those countries is people drive into crowds. That might have been what they did. Oh, and the cops shot one of the synagogue victims. So there must have been some shooting going on. All right. Sorry about that, but I'm just looking at the articles that they give me, and then Trump is threatening all hell if there is no response to the 20-point plan he unveiled Monday alongside Israel. Okay, so here's your response: go fuck yourself. That's a good response, don't you think? Here I am to save the day. Don't fear, Mighty Mouse is on the way. Okay, you got the government shutdown going on. I thought we were talking about that, and that doesn't make any sense to me either. The Democrats are trying to get some Medicaid, Medicare things not replaced because it's revived, I guess would be a good word for that. I don't know what that's going to happen. These shutdowns are just, a lot of cocktails at lunch and a lot of golfing and whatnot. You don't know what Trump's up to. Getting back to England, here's a nice little story. So I guess this would be a good story. A woman was appointed the Archbishop of England, I guess. and I was appointed Archbishop the first time ever that's been done. The English Church is, I don't know what they are, if they're Protestant or what it really is, but they separated from the Catholic Church because a couple of popes, a pope pissed off some people and they just decided to go the other direction, and that's what happened. Why can't we all just get along, But anyhow, I think that's a great idea. I think it's wonderful. I think, women are closer to religious belief than men are. They're more attuned to religion than men are. Men only like it when they can, beat the shit out of women. So that's their favorite religion. So anything that turns around and makes a woman equal they don't like it. We'll see how long this lasts. But I'm happy for it. That sounds like it could be exciting. I don't know how much influence they have other than the church, It's like the Pope. He talks a lot and nothing really happens, He can't rally. They don't, not like they did years ago. They could rally up the Catholics or the Jews or something by saying something. Now it's not done so often. Religions, popes, bishops, whatever now have a tendency to lay low. There was that one cardinal in New York a few years would always talk about everything. Now they don't do that so much. They're not. They're too busy trying to, hide some of the bad shit that happens in those churches. All right, next, and this is my final of the stories I wanted to check out. There's a big. They say it's a massive fire at a Chevron refinery in L.A. The fire isn't the bad problem. It's that smoke. Man, you put that with LA smog, and get the gas masks out, kids. It's not going to be fun. But that's that. So I don't know, what else do I have to say? I don't know what else is going on. One of the governors is calling on the U.S. military to defy Trump's orders. They can do that if individual soldiers can do that if they believe the order to be unconstitutional or illegal to some degree. I don't think they can do it on the basis of morality, because the military is not a very moral outfit to begin in the first place. What else? People are making a lot of people are putting a lot of food recipes up on YouTube, and then you just get stuff that if you read the article you're making a mistake. Absolutely big, huge mistake. Got a sea turtle that's covered with shit. Poor guy. Excuse me. A lot of good recipes here if you're into it. But, I'm not into that. So what do you think about this thing that's going to turn into a huge, has the possibility to turn into a really huge story? Bad Bunny, this guy Bad Bunny. I'm going to have to try and find some of his music, and I'm probably not going to like it because it's got nothing to do with it being in Spanish. I just don't like the style of music, rap or whatever that is, depending on what they call it. It's not my cup of tea. I'm a classic rock guy, and Van Morrison, Bob Dylan, Neil Diamond, all these guys, Bruce Springsteen, that's my cup of tea. Sorry about that. Pink Floyd, Zeppelin. Zeppelin's not on my top list. I enjoy a lot of their music, but I'm more psychedelic Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, great album. Great album. Not too many Beatles songs in there, folks. I like the original stuff from the very beginning, 60s. The harmony there was fantastic. And they went off psychedelic and just, I'm a big George Harrison and John Lennon fan. And occasionally I listen to Ringo's band. But I'm not a Paul McCartney fan in any stretch of the imagination. I just don't, something about him bothers me. Can't figure out what it is yet. Probably the old saying, only the good die young. Well, that prick's still alive. Oh, for that matter, so am I. All right, listen up. It's Friday. Tomorrow's football day. I'll give my football predictions for the weekend. Going to be a hard weekend to predict anything. I haven't been doing too well on that. This is my worst year ever predicting football, and I think it's because the information is very difficult to come by this year, for me anyhow. It's all about the soccer and the coming World Cup and everything like that. I got 7 ESPN channels. I do get WNBA games, which I like, so that's something good there. Otherwise, you can't. During the day, all you get is the same. The other day they had the same football or soccer game on 7 different channels. That's ridiculous, So anyhow, all right, that's it. Don't forget to hit the what's that button called? Subscribe button. Make a comment if you want. You don't have to keep it civil. I don't know whether they have censors if you start cursing or something like that and yelling at me, But you can do that. I guess you could send me a video. I don't know how you do that, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. I'm very good with computers. I'm not very good with a lot of different programs, software programs like this, But I'm very good with a computer. Doing research and stuff, so I'll figure things out. And sometimes I just don't want to figure things out. So what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Subscribe and comment if you'd like. And I'm going food shopping and out to lunch. So I will see you tomorrow morning. Ciao.